My good people, my good people. Hello, world. I'd like to welcome y'all back to the show that's hot with your boy, Roz Scott. This is Roz 2 Cents, baby. What's going on, everybody? Hey, after the news I just heard and what I've been reading all day, it seems like in the NFL, they've been going to Usher concerts too, because they've been trading places. We've seen a lot of big trades happen, man. The Bears just picked up somebody. The 49ers just picked up a defensive end that I think they going to love in Chase Young coming from the Commanders. But we going to get into all that, my good people. Also, we saw a great fight this past weekend and Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. I'm gonna definitely dive into that action. And we're gonna give you Rob's top 5 teams after week 8 in the NFL. And we definitely gotta have that NBA talk. So as I tell you all the time, my good people, go ahead, sit down, relax, chill out, get your drink, and enjoy the hottest sports conversation in the nation, man. This is Rob's 2 cents. And I gotta touch on the subject first. I know a lot of y'all like, man, Rob, why even talk about this team? They not worth your time. They not worth your effort, your troubles, your struggles. But I gotta talk about the Chicago Bears, man. You know, the Bears got destroyed by the Los Angeles Chargers. Final score 30-13, man. Uh Tyson Bagent had an okay game. He was 25 of 37 for 232 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You see what happened when that run game don't work for you. You see what happened when Dante Foreman not scoring 3 touchdowns in the game, and Khalil Herbert is gone, and you just can't seem to get that rhythm. That's what Justin Fields been going through. So I simply brought up the Bears to bring up this. There's no more QB controversy in the NFL. Let's stop saying that right now. Let's stop acting like Justin Fields has been getting the protection. Let's stop acting like Justin Fields has been getting the right play calling. Let's stop acting like his team has been putting in a total 100% effort. I mean, Jalen Johnson, I think that's his name, the corner safety that we got. He just requested a trade. You know, everybody's getting tired of the Bears nonsense. You know, people do not want to be a part of a losing atmosphere in a losing environment. Losers lose and winners win. My boy Eric Thomas told me that. He taught me that. Losers lose and winners win. And unfortunately, the Bears are not building a winning culture. But I don't want to hear any more controversy in the quarterback position. Let's be real. We wasn't gonna go that far with Mr. Bajan. I just don't think it's his time as of yet. He needs to sit down and continue to understand the game at a professional level as well. And like I've said many times about the Chicago Bears, I don't care if we got Tom Brady back there throwing passes in his prime. I don't care if we got the sheriff and Peyton Manning throwing passes in his prime. Until the Bears get some protection for these quarterbacks, until they get some better play callers and add some more playmakers on the field besides DJ Moore, they're not going to win anything. So I just bring up the Bears just to say that. But let's talk about some real situations going on. I'm about to give y'all my top 5 teams after week 8 in the NFL. Oh my God, we just saw some controversial wins. We saw a controversial loss. But let's get right into it, man. uh, Pay attention to the screen because starting at number 5, I have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I know they just lost to the Denver Broncos 24-9. Pat Mahomes had 2 interceptions and no touchdowns on the day. Now they made the excuse for him, said he had been feeling ill, maybe some flu-like symptoms going on before the game. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't want to hear that. If you're on the field to play, you're on the field to play. And the way I feel is, if you go out there to play, there's no more excuses that can be made. Either you show up or you get ran over. And the Chiefs definitely got ran over by the Denver Broncos. Now they have deeper problems than Patrick Mahomes' flu, because the question is, who's going to show up to help Travis Kelsey? And I'm not talking about Taylor Swift. I'm talking about one of these receivers on the Kansas City Chiefs. Which one of y'all are going to step up and be the Tyreek Hill for this team? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be as great as Cheetah. I'm not saying you're going to be as fast as Cheetah. But what I'm asking is, who's going to help with the workload when Travis Kelsey gets tired? You can't rely on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey all game. I'm sorry. It's just not a recipe for winning. Now, the only reason they still made my top 5 after this loss is because they have been running the NFL for a while now. They are the defending champions, and they still lead their division at 6-2. Defense have been questionable sometimes at best, but I think Kansas City have really turned it around. According to the Fox Sports, Kansas City Chiefs defense comes in at number 4 on the list. They've only allowed 4 touchdowns so far in this season after week 8. So, I got more faith in the Kansas City Chiefs than I have in Detroit, who was pretty much my runner up. Unfortunately with Detroit, Jamar Gibbs had an excellent game, running all over the Raiders, running for over 150 yards and 1 touchdown. And that defense was able to get to Garoppolo 6 times. But I don't trust Jared Goff. And I've been screaming that for the longest. I don't trust that run game to play like that every game. And that defense has shown that they, besides Aiden Hutchinson, they're not able to get much pressure on the quarterback. So that's the reason I left Detroit out the list, and that's the reason I have Kansas City coming in at number 5 as my top team in the NFL after week 8. Coming in at number 4. I told y'all about them Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't I? I told you about them Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't I? Coming in at number 4 is Jacksonville, who's on a 5-game winning streak, just defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-10. Trevor Lawrence 24-32 for 292 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But Travis Etienne Jr. doing what he does best, 79 yards on the day rushing, and also had 3 receptions for 70 yards and the only touchdown on the day for Jacksonville. I told y'all, if you keep Trevor Lawrence under 40 pass attempts, that is going to be a recipe for success for Jacksonville. Keep that balanced attack going. Travis Etienne Jr. has been having a hell of a season. And the way that he's in sync with Trevor Lawrence, even helping out in the pass game. And like I mentioned, they got studs over there. They got Calvin Ridley. They got Christian Kirk. They got guys over there that can make plays. Simple. Jacksonville is going to be a scary team. Trevor Lawrence seems like one of those confident dudes. He definitely got the confidence of his team in him. And you can tell that locker room supports this guy. This guy is a monster. Sunshine, sunshine, as they like to call Trevor Lawrence. He's a beast. And that's why Jacksonville is my 4th best team in the league right now. And now, as I mentioned, they're on the 5-game winning streak going into their bye week. So now you're going into your bye week to get a little rest, knowing that you just dominated a stretch in the season. You got to come back out of this bye week with confidence, and that's going to be a very important game. The game that Jacksonville plays after the bye week, definitely going to be keeping our eyes on that. Coming in at number 3, the Miami Dolphins have yet again scratched my top 5 list. Coming in at number 3, the Miami Dolphins, they defeated the Patriots 31-17. Tua threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Raheem Mostert had 46 yards rushing and 1 touchdown on the day. They definitely missing my boy Archain, missing that dynamic running back, and hopefully, I don't know. I believe I think he went down with an Achilles or something with his lower extremities. So I don't know if we'll see him again this season. But this team just has a team full of playmakers. And even though you're missing our chain, when you have receivers like Jalen Waddle and the cheetah Tyreek Hill, who both had over 100 yards on the day receiving, and each had a touchdown, it shows why this offense can be so scary, because they are just dynamic. My only question with the Miami Dolphins is, can you beat the powerhouse teams? Can you beat the Kansas City Chiefs of the world? Can you beat the San Francisco 49ers of the world when they're all healthy? Can you beat the Eagles? Can you beat Jacksonville? That's what I want to know about the Miami Dolphins. When the heat is on, do you stand in the fire and take on all contenders, or do you just burn and wither away? That's what I want to know. Before I keep going, man, I got to, what's up, coach? I appreciate you. You need Sanders, all of them. Yes, they do. They all need some help. They talking about the Bears. Hey, the Bears definitely need some help. They need somebody. Oh, Lord Jesus, because we just suck. But, hey, coach, I appreciate you for watching. Now, coming in at number 2 on my top 5 NFL teams after week 8. I gotta go with the mighty Baltimore Ravens because Lamar Jackson been playing out of his mind. The Baltimore Ravens have been playing out of their mind. I'm telling you guys right now, the Ravens are looking like the real deal. Let's talk about who they defeated on the day. The Baltimore Ravens defeated the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sorry, y'all lost my train of thought for a second. Defeated the Arizona Cardinals in 31-24. Lamar Jackson was 18-27 on the day for 157 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. That's always important when your MVP quarterback can not turn the ball over and help you win big games. That's what you do. And my boy Gus Edwards with the hat trick on the day, scoring 3 touchdowns on the day. Not to mention that defense forced 2 interceptions. And according to Fox Sports, the Baltimore Ravens defense is ranked at number 2, right behind the Cleveland Browns, only allowing 10 touchdown totals on the year. They are trying to channel their inner 2000 Ravens. Hey, you've been seeing my boy training with Ray Lewis. Man, former Bears, man. It just sucks to see our guys leave us and then go on to be successful. But more power to the Baltimore Ravens, man. And that number 1, I have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I know a lot of people are like, Rob, why are you choosing the Eagles? Because even though the Eagles have won ugly games, the point is they're winning. And right now they lead the entire NFL with a record of 7-1. Now I know what I said about Jalen Hurts a couple weeks ago. He must have heard me because the guy has completely turned this game around. Let me tell you what they did against the Washington Commanders, a team they defeated 41-38. Jalen Hurts was 29-38 on the day for 4 touchdowns. Made up for that lost fumble in the game, and he finally used those playmakers in his receiving core in A.J. Brown because A.J. Brown caught all 8 passes that was thrown to him for 130 yards on the day and 2 tutties. And Devontae Smith, another playmaker for this team, caught all 7 of the passes that were thrown to him for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. Even Julio Jones caught a damn touchdown. Let me tell y'all something. If this team can get rocking and rolling like that, we know what their defense can do. Their defense has been the reason that they've been able to pull out these ugly games. And now Jalen Hurts, who seemed to kind of be turning around, don't want to say that after only 1 week, but man, Jalen Hurts, I mentioned before, he was a quarterback that was getting better and better and better in his progression, and he seemed to be going the opposite way. But now he's starting to turn around, get this team going as long as they continue to do what makes them win. Continue to run the ball and continue that defense. And he knows that he got 2 studs out there at wide receiver. You can't forget about my boy Dallas Goedert at tight end, and you definitely can't forget about now they bring in a Julio Jones, even though I know he's not the same Julio from before. That guy can still get to it. And you definitely don't want to leave a guy like that open. So, those are my top 5 teams of the NFL right now. Number 5, the Chiefs. Number 4, the Jaguars. Number 3, the Dolphins. Number 2, the Ravens. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go to the comments real quick. And y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and share, man. If you want to see your comment pop up like so. What's happening, my boy Ken? I appreciate the love, man. And thank you guys for coming in. Remember, this is an interactive show. Any questions that you want to ask Rob and you want to know my 2 cents on, make sure you ask away. Well, we're going to keep this show right on going because we got to talk about some guys that went down this past weekend. Kenny Pickett went down with a rib injury as the Steelers lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they hope to get him back soon, but we don't know the timetable on that. We don't know how serious that rib injury is. And Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, after having a pretty great season, even though the Vikings wasn't having a great season, Kirk Cousins was having a pretty great season as far as statistics go. Unfortunately, he went down with an Achilles injury in the Vikings 24-10 win over the Green Bay Packers as they were looking to try to make a little noise and give Detroit some go, in the NFC North. Now, I just read that, as I mentioned earlier in the show, trading places. That's what the NFL is doing. The Detroit Lions just got Dobbs from the Cleveland Browns. So they're going to see, from the Arizona Cardinals. So they're going to see If Dobbs can, fill that void, especially losing a guy like Kirk Cousins. And unfortunately for Kirk Cousins, I believe he becomes a free agent next year. So we'll have to look to see how this Achilles injury affects him and him getting paid. As we know, he's been with the Vikings for a minute now, and he spent so many years taking franchise tags. He finally was able to get his money, and unfortunately, he goes down with this injury, man. So, wishing a speedy recovery to both of you guys, man. It always sucks to see that. Hey, what's happening, my boy, Mike Hughes? What's happening, man? Hey, y'all guys, make sure that you guys tune in right after this show to me and my boy Mike show. Welcome to Mars, man. This is what we do. We put in work. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys come to me for the truth, and I'm here to explain to you what they don't tell you on TV. Hey, yes, he has. Dobbs has been a dog in Arizona. And I'm excited to see what he can do with this Vikings team too. As we know, Addison has been a beast for the Vikings, the rookie. And they still got Justin Jeffries, and Jefferson, and we just know that this team can get hot. When the time is right. So I'm not counting the Vikings out as of yet. I think they, as you mentioned, Mike, they have some weapons on that side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense seemed to be picking it up as well. That was a great win over the Packers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta talk some basketball because it has been going down in this very young NBA season. But one player in particular has stood out to me. And I want to make sure I do this the right way because this boy deserves a huge shout out. I want to talk about a person that's been going crazy. My boy, Luka Magic, because Luka Doncic in 3 games is averaging over 39 points, shooting 55.6% from the field and 48.6% from distance. He's also averaging 11.7 rebounds and 9.7 assists a game, including their down to the wire win against the Brooklyn Nets, where he went from 49 points, including hitting this crazy shot right here. That's Luka Magic, baby. He hit that one-handed bank shot three while shooting 16 to 25 from the field, 9 to 14 from deep, including 10 rebounds, 7 assists with no turnovers. And then what did he do? He follows it up with 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists while shooting 50% from the field and from deep with the W over the Grizzlies. Ladies and gentlemen, simply what I'm not saying is Luka Doncic. That boy cold. And he ain't been the only one. My boy Nikola Jokic notched his second triple double in 4 games in this early NBA season. He now has 107 career triple doubles for his career, tying LeBron James and Jason Kidd for 4th place on the all-time triple double list. These guys, the international players, have just been showing up and showing out in this young NBA season, man, and it just got me all fired up. It got me excited and ready to watch more basketball. One team in particular, the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know if you guys saw, but they had an overtime loss to Sacramento, but they bounced back with a W versus the Heat. And let me tell you something, man. I mean, that wasn't Milwaukee. I forgot who Milwaukee lost. Atlanta. I'm sorry, not Sacramento. Milwaukee lost to Atlanta. I was like, you lost to the Hawks. Now, no offense to the Hawks, but with the trade made for Dame Dollar, you would think that Milwaukee would play better. And that's the reason I told you guys that I am not ready to crown the Milwaukee Bucks champion as of yet. I know a lot of guys heard, oh, Dame is going to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're the automatic champions. That's not the case. You got to wait to see how things play out. We got to wait to see if that chemistry works. And unfortunately, what have I been saying? If Giannis cannot develop some type of perimeter game, I don't see the Bucks winning because you can't hit that many threes to still cut that wall off. Giannis is gonna have to add some type of things to his game besides just running and dunking on people, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong, we've never seen anything like Giannis. I mean, he truly is the Greek freak. But let's be real. He's gonna have to, elevate his game. He's gonna have to add more to his game if he's trying to get the results that he's trying to get, and that's get Dame his first ring. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. You got to worry about the Denver Nuggets. You got to worry about the Boston Celtics, who Porzingis have been playing out of his mind. And just the other night, both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum went for 30. I mean, when you got firepower like that, you have to worry about it. And unfortunately, that loss to Atlanta kind of showed me a little something. Speaking of a bad loss, the Lakers lost in overtime to the Sacramento Kings. They bounced back. Had a W last night. D'Angelo Russell went crazy. But my question with the Lakers is, when is Anthony Davis going to decide to show up every day? Now I know for the past two games he's played pretty well. I know he had 30 the night before and he had 26 last night, I believe. But LeBron should not be the best player on the Los Angeles Lakers. Not in year 21 at the age of 39 that he'll be turning in December. Shame on you to the whole Los Angeles Lakers organization for making LeBron play this much, because in that overtime loss to Sacramento, LeBron is on a minutes restriction. 29 minutes a game is what he's supposed to be playing. He played 39 minutes the other night. You do not want a guy like LeBron playing 39 minutes right now on the regular season when you have playoff aspirations, because that's when you're gonna need LeBron to show up and go crazy. So right now, I'm making a call out to Anthony Davis and the rest of that Los Angeles Lakers team. Stop putting all this pressure on LeBron and do what he thought you was gonna do. When he came and got you from New Orleans, he wanted you to be Batman. He keeps saying that, Anthony Davis. When are you gonna wake up and realize that you're supposed to be the man on this team? That's my problem. Play hard, show up and play. Also, we got some big news. Speaking of big trades in the NFL, we got to talk about the big trade in the NBA, because James Harden finally got his wish and was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. And honestly, to me, I don't know how is this gonna work, because the Sixers get Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington makes his return back to Philly, KJ Martin, and multiple draft picks. And what the Clippers get is James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev. Now, I don't know too much about Philip Petrusev. I think he played for Gonzaga when he was in college, but I haven't heard too much noise out of him in the NBA. But my question with the Clippers is, how is James Harden going to work with Russell Westbrook? Because Russell Westbrook has kind of been your primary point guard for this Clippers team, and Russell Westbrook has been playing very well. If I'm the Clippers, if I'm Coach Tyrone Lue, I'm having a serious conversation with James Harden and saying, brother, I know what you used to be. You used to be the bearded one. You used to be Mr. 40 a night, but you're not him no more. I'm gonna need you to come off the bench and leave my second unit, because Russ, Kawhi, and PG, they got this. And I don't know who do who do you not start, because Covington was starting in that starting lineup, I believe. And now I believe that you bring in the Terrence Mann before you bring in the James Harden, because James Harden, as has statistically shown, he is not the James Harden he used to be. Now he had that one game, that aberration game where he went for 40 in the playoffs. That was for one game. After that, we saw who James Harden really is. And that is, unfortunately, a guy who was on the downside of his career. No offense to James Harden. I rocks with James Harden. But what he did in Philly was just wrong, considering the fact that you now forced yourself off three teams. You forced yourself out of Houston. You forced yourself out of Brooklyn. Now you forced yourself out of Philly. And now you think you're going to go, because let me tell you something right now. Coach Tyrone Lue ain't going to play that. If you go over there causing any commotion, you will not be playing the game. Now, I do like to pick up a PJ Tucker. He brings a defensive intensity, and we know if he can stand in that corner and hit that wide open three. But I just don't know how this James Harden, Russell Westbrook project is going to work. Luckily for the Clippers, I believe that they are still friends, with that relationship that they that they forged back when they were both with Oklahoma City. But I just don't know how this dynamic works. We've seen the Russell Westbrook, James Harden project before when they were both in Houston. And Russ eventually asked for a trade because he just could not play with this guy. These are two guys that are ball dominant. And for the most part, Russell has been better at, getting rid of the ball when he needs to. But unfortunately, James Harden, I don't think knows how to play without the ball in his hand. He's not going to be standing there, as a spot up shooter. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Clippers now, especially because I think they let go of a lot. Robert Covington was a nice two-way player. Could hit some open threes. Could definitely play some defense. Marcus Morris haven't seen too much of it, but we know what Marcus Morris can do when healthy. And Nicholas Batum, he's a guy that's older on the downside of his career, but he was still a guy, a body out there that can go play some defense, and you let go of a young KJ Martin. So it's just gonna be interesting to see what the Clippers do, coming up, man. I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eyes on them. But I want to personally thank a brother in the NBA who's kind of making me look like Nostradamus. I want to thank you, Mr. Wardell Steph Curry, because you've been on the tear, and you're looking like you're gonna prove me right and be this year's MVP. Because right now, Steph Curry is playing in MVP mode, ladies and gentlemen. Since their loss to Phoenix in the season opener, the Warriors are on a 3-game winning streak, including 2 big wins against Western Conference powerhouses. Those teams being the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. In those 2 games, Steph Curry has made 7 threes in each of those games, including shooting 70% against the Kings and 53.8% against the Pelicans from distance. Everybody laughed at me when I said Steph Curry would be the MVP. Rob, you don't know what you're talking about. You call yourself a sports analyst. You call yourself a sports guy, and you're saying that Steph Curry is going to win win the MVP, and that the Warriors will continue to be a real contender in the Western Conference. Yeah, and that wasn't just fandom talking. That was knowledge of the game. You see, every time you guys count the Warriors out, you haven't learned your lesson yet. That is not a team to be reckoned with. I said Draymond will come back and play better. He got his money now. The team chose him over Jordan Poole. He's $100 million man. I just seen a video him hugging Rich Paul, thanking him because what Rich Paul and Clutch Sports has done for Draymond in his career has been astronomical. And now Clay, who I kind of made fun of last show, he's been actually shooting the ball better. Now he didn't play in the last game due to some some pain, some soreness in his right knee. But Steph was like, Clay, it's okay. And he had his way with the New Orleans Pelicans. Not to mention the defense that Draymond was sticking on Zion Williamson. And thank God Steve Kerr listened to Steph Curry and got Chris Paul coming off the bench to play with that second unit. It doesn't mean that Chris Paul won't be in there in clutch time. It's just saying right now we got enough guards on the floor to control the pace of the game. We got Draymond, who's our point forward. We got Steph, who's shown that he's a hell of a passer himself. I told you guys, Charles Barkley, all the naysayers, Charles Barkley calling the Warriors old and saying that they're washed up and it's over with. Laugh now, cry later, ladies and gentlemen, because right now the Warriors are laughing. And I am telling you right now, do not be surprised if Mr. Chef Curry, as his boys like to call him, if he's holding up that MVP trophy at the end of the regular season. We will be waiting and see. Ride with me, folks. We almost done with this. I appreciate y'all for staying with me so far. I got to talk about some Heisman Trophy candidates. We're going to take it over to NCAA college football for a second. It's 3 guys who've been standing out in particular to me. This year has been one of the years I've really started to pay attention to college football. I'm definitely excited about the bowl games, and I'm just going to just make mention of these 3 guys here. At number 1 for me would have to be the quarterback for number 13th ranked LSU, Jaden Daniels. This guy has been a stud, and even though that defense sucked, him on the offensive side of the ball continues to bring firepower. On the year, he's thrown for 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, at a QBR 91.8 and 2,573 passing yards on the year. Their most notable win being against the Missouri Tigers October 7th, with the final score being 49-39. In that game, he was 15 to 21 for 259 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jaden Daniels is a stud. And I still like Caleb Williams and Michael Penix Jr. But if we're just talking about for trophy's sake, this guy has been a stud and he definitely deserves to be on this list. Coming in at number two, I have to go to a NFL future Hall of Famer, son, and Marvin Harrison Jr., who plays with the number three ranked Ohio State. On the year, this Heisman Trophy has kind of turned into a quarterback award, so it just felt good in my heart to see somebody other than a quarterback, making a statement this year and being able to make it on my list because Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud. I mean, on the year so far, he has 48 receptions for 889 yards and 8 touchdowns on the year. He's had 100 receptions in 6 of their 8 games played this year. His most notable win and the Ohio State most notable win was against the number 7 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, and he had 11 receptions for 162 yards and 1 touchdown. We know what his dad did for the Indianapolis Colts. And, if you guys watch football, you know Marvin Harrison. He scared the hell out of me, especially when the Bears in '06 played the Indianapolis Colts in that Super Bowl. And, we went up with, Devin Hester scores a touchdown, and then Thomas Jones scores a touchdown, and we couldn't score no more. Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison had their way, and now his son looking like he's going to be a stud in the NFL, like father, like son. And at number three, I got to go with Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix continues to make my list, playing for ranked sixth ranked Oregon. On the year, he's thrown for 2,337 yards for 21 touchdowns, only one interception, and has a QBR of 85%. He is the only quarterback in the National College Football scene who's thrown for at least 20 touchdowns and only one interception. His most notable win and the Oregon Ducks' most notable win had to come against number 18th ranked Utah. At the final score was 35-6. He was 24-31 on the day for 248 yards, 2 tutties, and 0 interceptions. That boy, Bo Nix, is a dog. And hey, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a race all the way to the finish. Getting down to the closing segment of my show, I got to talk about this dude, Tyson Fury, man. As you know, this weekend, Tyson Fury went against UFC's Francis Ngannou. Remember, Tyson Fury is the WBC, I believe, heavyweight champion of the world, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, going against Francis Ngannou, who wanted to be a boxer growing up, but never boxed in a real boxing match in his life. Now he was trained by the legendary Mike Tyson, and as you can see in this knockout, Tyson trained him well.
Oh, he catches him off guard! Francis Ngannou has just scored a knockdown against the heavyweight champ. Anything can happen.
It was not a good look for Tyson Fury this weekend. Bad day at the office. As I just mentioned, Francis Ngannou he's been the heavyweight champion in UFC in mixed martial arts. He has not been in a boxing match. In his first boxing match, he goes against the WBC and lineal heavyweight champion of the world in Tyson Fury, and he was able to give him that give him that work. And it just didn't look good for Tyson. You don't let an amateur come in and do you like that. Floyd Mayweather, out of using Conor McGregor as his last match, McGregor had absolutely no chance against Mayweather because it was in a boxing ring. Now we do know the same applies if they was to go in the cage. These boxers will have no chance to beat these guys in the cage. But to let a guy come into your world, go the distance with you, and a lot of people think Francis Ngannou won that fight. I did. What you say, man? He said had that man seeing stars and not on the red carpet. Oh Lord Jesus! I know that's my wife. Boy, we crazy. That was a good one, man. But it's not a good look when you let somebody come into your world and dominate you in your sport, in your profession, and you're supposed to be the heavyweight champ in this thing. Now, if you ask me personally, I do think Tyson Fury won the fight. I know that's a lot of people, that's going to be controversial to a lot of people. I think Francis Ngannou had a great showing, and I'm excited to see if he's going to continue this transition over into boxing because he's going to make the heavyweight division very interesting. I just think Tyson Fury outboxed him in the end. He definitely had control of that jab. He was able to keep the distance on Ngannou. And Tyson Fury used that plan he always does. He holds you and he puts that big body on you. He gets you tired and gets you out of breath. And he looks to deliver the boom. And Ngannou showed that he has a great chin. He didn't go down from any of Tyson Fury's shots. And he showed that he got some heart. The guy, stood up to the heavyweight champion of the world and can live to tell the tale. I think it did come down to the wire. It ended in a split decision. It was not unanimous. One judge had Ngannou winning, and the other two judges had Tyson Fury winning the fight. And honestly, for those who said Ngannou won, I'm not mad at you either way because Ngannou came out there. He did enough to deserve to win that fight. I don't think Tyson Fury took him serious at all, and unfortunately, it showed in this match. Now, I was wondering what it was going to do for the heavyweight title scene, because remember, he was supposed to be going against Alexander Usyk to unify the heavyweight titles. Remember, there has been no unified heavyweight champion since the four belt era being WBC, WBO, IBF, and lineal champions of the world. So to be able to finally witness an undisputed heavyweight champion is going to be great. Now, their fight has been pushed back to February. And if I'm Ngannou, I won't lie to you. If I'm Ngannou, I'm asking Fury for a rematch. And I think he deserves one. No way in hell, even Tyson Fury should be able to accept this rematch and go show what he should have done and take the fight seriously. But I don't know if even if he takes the fight seriously, if he's just gonna lay Ngannou out like that. I just don't have faith in it. So I'm gonna be definitely watching that world heavyweight unification title match against him and Alexander Usyk. But unfortunately, we have to wait until 2024 because if you look at Tyson Fury after the fight, Ngannou looked like he was photo ready. Tyson Fury looked like he was in an abusive relationship. It was bad. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my show. Before I leave you, I'd like to show you my video of the week. As you guys know, I always find some crazy video of the week in sports. And this video comes from the Missouri Tigers college baseball team. Their antics that they do when their guys are giving post-game interviews are hilarious. I thought it was funny, and I think you will too. Check this out.
It's obviously a really good win. We needed to bounce back after this past week against Georgia. Let's get back on the right track. And I know we still got a lot of good pitching left. Didn't use very many guys tonight. So things are looking good for this weekend.
A good night for you, and I think somebody knighted behind you. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Jacob's evening.
Jacob, what's your...
A lot of fight from you and the South Carolina Gamecocks tonight. Coach, I'll let you take the next one.
I'm watching the match behind TJ right now. TJ, did you ever throw a no-hitter in high school?
Yeah, I think I did once.
Of course, that was a 7-inning game tonight. That would have been a no-hitter in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You had a kind of trading blows with your counterpoint at one point tonight. How does that feel whenever you know the other guy across the way is throwing a nice game as well, and you're kind of trying to match him pitch for pitch?
Yeah, I mean, I think it keeps you a little
Hey, just a bunch of guys having fun and loving what they doing. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just having fun, loving what I'm doing, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man, and staying with your boy this long. Hey, let me tell you, man, it took a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? I was running late from work, and, we got some things going on. Your boy might be in Miami at the end of the month, man, and just a lot going on. Some unexpected stuff popped up, but I am here for you guys. I said I was gonna make it here, and I was gonna do Rob's 2 cents, no matter how tired I was, no matter how much everything in the universe was telling me not to. I'm gonna grind, baby. If there's one thing you know about Rob, I'm gonna grind, man. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. I hope y'all continue to be good. Continue to be great. I'll see you guys Thursday. Make sure in about 10 minutes you tune in to the Mike and Rob show. Welcome to Mars as we give you guys our takes on everything that's going on in sports. I told you it's grind season. And you already know the slogan, baby. We gone.
There's a bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us, but we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And we gone.